To the Springfield Township Board of Trustees, May 8th, 2018 meeting. It is approximately 5:30 p.m. Mr. Burning, may we please have the roll call?
Yes, Mr. Burning.
Present.
Ms. McFarland.
Present.
Mr. Honolaw.
Present.
All the trustees are present.
And I would ask, would everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, the first thing that we have on our agenda this evening is approval of minutes. We had our regular session on April 10th, 2018, a regular work session on April 24th, 2018, a public hearing on April 3rd, 2018, and a special meeting held May 7th, 2018. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next, Mr. Burning, may we please have the financial report?
Yes, Mr. Honolaw, for the month ending April 30th, 2018, the township's expenditures were $1,987,329.01, and the receipts were $4,277,458.25. The ending cash balance of $21,670,376.74 includes obligations for expenditures, payroll, regular operating costs, and ongoing capital improvements. What I do request is the approval of the receipts, warrants, payroll expenditures, updated and current revenue and reports for the period ending April 30th, 2018. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries, and I would just want everyone to know that financial reports are available for viewing at the administrative offices weekdays during regular business hours or on our website 24/7. Thank you, Mr. Harlow.
All right, thank you, Mr. Burning. Next, moving on to departmental action and discussion items. Mr. Gilbert, do we have a report?
Yes, we do, Mr. Harnell. Thank you. This evening, I only have two action items. The first of which is a liquor permit hearing request on behalf of Ambiance Nails Salon at 8491 Winton Road, which is the Brentwood Plaza. I think, according to the chief, there are no objections to the permit request, correct?
No, there's an unusual request. I've looked into it, and I have no objection.
Okay. So I guess at this point, we would just entertain a motion to send the appropriate paperwork to the Ohio Division of Liquor Control that we have no objection to the permit.
Do we have?
Second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
The second action item we have is Mike Gould, our Director of Infrastructure and Development, in his infinite wisdom, decided to put out all 6 of our resurfacing projects into one bid this year, which I think was a good move from an economies of scale standpoint, hopefully get a better price. And we had the bid opening yesterday, and I'm pleased to say it came in about $240,000 less than the engineer's estimate. Barrett Construction was the winning bidder at $960,070.80. And that includes 6 different resurfacing projects, 6 different neighborhoods. And Mike, I don't know if you want to say anything about it.
No, the only thing I would add is, to Chris's point, I feel very strongly that we benefited from the fact of combining all the projects into one bid packet. There is one component to the project that will be performing through state bid. So even though this reflects significant cost savings, we will take that cost savings and apply it to the projects, whereas enhancing the work that's being performed and extending the life of the new pavement that's being put down.
Smart move.
Very good, very good. There was, the bids are all pretty close, but that's a significant savings for that amount, for about 1.2 million engineer's estimate. You saved us a lot.
Almost $250,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So definitely kudos to Mike and his foresight in doing that. So at this point, I would ask the board to make a motion to award the Springfield Township Curb Replacement Resurfacing Program, the bid to Barrett Construction at $960,070.80, pending law director approval.
So moved.
Second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
That concludes the action items. The only discussion item I have is a personnel update, and that would be in the fire department. We had the resignation of a part-time EMT firefighter, Paul Ulrich. That date of resignation was April 17th of 2018. And then in the public works department, we hired 2 seasonal laborers for the summer, Luke Richards and Dallas Schaefer. Luke's start date was May 2nd, and Dallas Schaefer's start date was May 7th. So we look forward to having them with us this summer. That is all of the personnel updates we have, and then at this point, I'll turn it over to Kim to update us on community events and programs.
Thank you. We only have one event in May that actually kicks off all of our summer programs. So on May the 25th will be our first afternoon Arts Connect Cafe event. We'll be out in the front of the Civic Center, and we're bringing in Bee Gees Grill and Kelly Ritchie. Then the month of June, we've got an event every single Friday and actually a Thursday. So we have our Puppets for Lunch event, our Touch-a-Truck, our first evening concert. We're going to be doing a big kickoff for the mural project over at Brentwood Bowl on June 22nd, and then our last Friday of the month cafe event on June 29th.
Thank you, Kim.
Kim, what are the times on those? Are those, did you say those are all at noon?
For the Friday events, they actually change. So on June 8th, the Puppet for Lunch event is at noon. Touch-a-Truck goes from 11 to 1. The Thursday concert on June 21st starts at 7 o'clock p.m. and goes till 9. The mural kickoff in front of Brentwood Bowl will go from 1 to 3. And the Arts Connect Cafe event, both of those are from 11:30 to 1.
11:30 to 1 on 29th, okay.
Yeah, May 25th and on June 29th. Those are both cafe events.
Okay. Very good, all right, thank you.
Thank you, Kim. The only other thing I would like to bring to the attention of the board is obviously we have 2 resolutions on the agenda, one of which is resolution number 40, determining necessity for road improvements. That is for the I guess it's technically the Wright Farm subdivision. North Meadowcrest, Heatherdale, Thornberry, they had, and Beach Drive from Meadowcrest, they have secured the enough signatures on the petition to move forward with the project. They have submitted those to the board, and this resolution would basically authorize us and to move forward with that project. Obviously, that project was part of the bid award that we just made. We knew prior to that bid that this resolution would be before the board tonight. So that project did obtain enough signatures to move forward, and I just want to bring that to your attention. That's what that resolution is for. Lastly, you have a copy of all the departmental activity reports. Unless there are any questions of those, that concludes my report.
Mike, do you have a specific time frame, or is it flexible for that Meadowcrest, for the
I think
resolution we have on there? They want it later because the 2 homes are going to be built. Is that the plan, to wait till like October or something?
yeah, that plan hasn't been finalized, but yes, is my understanding, and speaking to some of the property owners back there, that additional homes may be built. And it's conceivable that the resurfacing back there on those streets may actually have to wait till spring, because construction of those new homes may not be completed.
I understand. I just wanted to make sure that was still being part of the plan, because I know a lot of the neighbors were worried about that. They didn't want to redo the road and then have 2
Big
houses
trucks
built.
tear it up.
Tear it up.
Yep, that's
Thanks, Mike.
good idea, very good idea. Okay, well, thank you, Mr. Gilbert, for your report. Next, under resolutions, we have resolution number 39, 2018, authorizing the private sale of junk motor vehicles which were titled to the township pursuant to revised code section 4513.61 and revised code section 4513.62, and which are not needed or unfit for use in any township department. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded?
Mr. Burning.
Aye.
Ms. McFarland.
Aye.
Mr. Honolo.
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Next, we have Resolution Number 40, 2018, determining necessity for road improvements requested by landowner petition pursuant to revised code section 5571.07 on Beach Drive from Meadowcrest to the cul-de-sac, North Meadowcrest Circle, Heatherdale Lane, Thornberry Drive, and authorizing statutory actions required for such improvements. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded?
Mr. Burning.
Aye.
Ms. McFarland.
Aye.
Mr. Honolo.
Aye.
Resolution carries. You guys are confusing me.
I think we got a race going here.
But there are only two, you know.
Okay.
She can have that.
Thanks.
next-
You're so generous.
Next before the board this evening, do we have any old business?
I have none.
I do not have any, Joe.
Do we have any new business this evening?
I would just like to, again, expand on the Ambiance Nails and Spa that's going to be constructed here in Brentwood Shopping Center. It's another business that's coming into our township, and it's very upscale. They have other ones at Rookwood, Westchester, and Harper's Point. And I think it's a great location, and I'm looking forward to seeing another business come into our township area. Chris, are there any other new businesses that you're aware of that we can look forward to? I see UDF construction, it's gone.
The former UDF's gone. The new one will be in its place hopefully before the end of the year. They're going to start construction obviously once they get all of the material out of the way from the previous building. I think it's safe to say now it's a public process. They are in their final stages of zoning approval, but Christ Hospital will be building a 12,000 square foot medical office building at the northeast corner of Fleming and Winton.
Fantastic.
So that's I think a good addition to our business corridor, and obviously I think everyone's aware that Citrus Tree is moving forward with constructing their building up at the intersection of Corbett and Winton. Additionally, we have some other businesses that are very interested in the Winton Road corridor and some other areas of the township, and we're continuing to work with those, but no announcements that I can make at this time, but those are two others that are locating soon in the
Fantastic.
community. So.
Fantastic.
Okay, very good.
The other thing I'd like to mention is annually, we have a police memorial, and it's that time of the year for our annual police memorial that's recognized across the United States, I'm pretty sure. And I've been to one, and it's it's excellent. I would encourage everyone to go. This year, I think it's down at the Cincinnati Fire Museum. And Rob, can you expand on that and kind of give me the date and time? And I understand, I've heard by the grapevine that you're going to participate in that ceremony?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, the Police Memorial Week was enacted by President John F. Kennedy back in the early 60s. This year, the parade will begin. It's a parade and a memorial service. Will begin at the Cincinnati Fire Museum, 11 a.m. this Friday, the 11th. We'll proceed to Cincinnati Police District 1 on Ezra Charles Drive, where the police memorial is located. And being the president of the County Chiefs Association this year, I have the honor of placing a wreath on the memorial. So excited about that. Happy to be a part of it.
That's great.
Great.
Very good, very good.
And the final thing that I have, again, we've got a lot happening in this area. The Mount Healthy Family Practice, which has been located in the little shopping center in Mount Healthy, they are relocating because they're expanding, and they provide primary health care and health care to all residents. They take care of the total person. So they're going to have a groundbreaking on Friday, June the 8th, 2018, and it starts at 10 and it's over at 10:30. And the address is 1411 Compton Road, Mount Healthy, Ohio. And again, it's another way for our residents to access health care. It's on a sliding fee scale. No one is turned away because of their inability to pay. So again, we are continuing to see resources that are accessible for individuals in our township. Even though it's in Mount Healthy, this is a regional type of healthcare system, and it's called the Healthcare Connection. That's all.
Thank you, Gwen. And now we come to citizens' participation. Is there anyone here this evening that would like to address the board? If there is, we would ask that you come up to the podium and state your name and address. Yes, sir.
John Ewald, 8645 Zenith Court. And basically what I wanted to do this evening is make you aware of a situation which may have an impact on property damage, a waste of township resources, and possibly physical harm to township residents. Recently, Duke Energy replaced a telephone pole on our street, and it was another one replaced over a year ago. Duke did a great job, but the old poles have not been removed. They're marked with caution tape, they're tied up with rope, all kinds of things. We're really one good windstorm from the fire department being on our street, and when those resources are needed somewhere else, they're not going to be available, or it's not going to work out. I talked to Duke, and they explained the process to me. Basically, Duke puts the poles in and moves their equipment. Cincinnati Bell, Spectrum, and everybody else that's on the common poles are responsible for moving their wires. There seems to be a flaw in the system because it's not working. If I may approach, I brought some pictures for you to look at.
Yes, please. Yeah, yes, thank you. Thank
This
you.
is the one in front of my home, and this is the one up home. The funny thing is, those two poles are in succession. Number one is the pole in front of my home. The old pole's been cut down at the top by Duke to relieve some of the stress on it. There's a picture also on the second page of wires tied to the new pole with rope. And third is the caution tape still on the poles that have been deemed unsafe by Duke. The pole that's located at 8617 Zenith, which is the other set of pictures, and that's the one that's been standing for over a year. It's leaning very bad, and there's also, I took pictures, at the top it's tied with rope to the other pole so it doesn't fall over. It's leaning terribly, and these poles are split. Basically, I called Bell and everybody else, and I don't have access to phone numbers to get results. And one little shoe doesn't kick as hard as a big shoe, is the way I look at it. But something needs to be done. I don't know how widespread this is in the township. This gentleman mentioned it. He's got two on his street,
There's
too.
one on Cavalier right in front of my in-laws. She's bothered me.
There's one across the street from my house on Hollyhock, and the worst I've seen is down on Compton Road, down near St. Clair's, one of those streets down there. I think it might be Newberry Street. The pole was like shattered in a car wreck, and they have like tied with rope a board to the side of the pole. They had to replace the pole, but the other one is still there, and they wrapped a board and a whole bunch of rope around the old pole. It's like
That's because they can't move the phone or the cable lines.
I
So they gotta wait for
understand
them to
that.
move that, so they can't get rid of the pole till it's all moved.
And that was my point. The one at 8617, the pictures, that pole's been like that for over a year.
And it looks to me that it's rotting out.
It is.
I mean, it's unsafe.
One good windstorm, like I said, some of these things are going to start coming down, and you know who's going to get the call? Right there.
Yeah.
You know, luckily, Mr. Ewald, were you on the neighborhood master plan committee?
No,
We've
I've talked to you a
Yeah.
million times on Zenith.
Yeah,
We
we,
were keeping an eye on the contractors.
yeah, you look familiar to me. I know
Yeah.
we've had conversations. It's good to see you
When they
again.
were replacing the sewer lines coming
Yep,
out.
yep, now I
going
remember.
from 4-inch to
Yep.
3-inch couplers.
Yeah, well, good to see you again anyway.
Yeah.
I remember that. Luckily for us, Mike Gold Director of Infrastructure and Development again. He has a lot of contacts with Duke, Cincinnati Bell, and Time Warner to get this done. And it seems like he was shaking his head like he was already familiar with the situation and already possibly working to resolve, maybe not this one, but some of the others that we talked about.
Yeah, if I could. Last Wednesday, I met with Warren Walker, who is the local government liaison for Duke Energy, because in my travels, I've noticed a lot of the same things that you're referring to, and it's pretty widespread. We're probably talking in excess of 100 poles within Springfield Township that has been replaced. And Duke Energy has their program, and they also acknowledge the fact that there is issues with the communication between Duke and Cincinnati Bell. So currently, Warren Walker, I, and representative from Cincinnati Bell, as well as Spectrum, are working to resolve this. I will add that Duke Energy is classifying the replacement of these poles as an emergency, so they are not filing the adequate permits, the right-of-way permits, so we're not receiving notification. The only reason why we're finding out about these issues is, one, in my travels or in my staff's travels, or phone calls similar to what you just explained. So we are doing our due diligence. We're doing everything we can. If you want to hang out after this meeting, I'll be happy to share my business card, my contact information with you, and I can make sure that your issue and this gentleman's issue also gets addressed as quickly as possible.
Like I said, I just wanted to come up and make sure that somebody was aware of the situation, and I'm just hoping that Duke used a good road.
Paul, don't be bashful. If you see something like that, please make us aware, because, sometimes in your everyday life, you don't notice it, whereas it's right in front of your house, it's a little hard to not notice.
Well, it's just funny standing here across from your house, he mentioned he's got
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I mean, it's
All over.
more widespread than we thought.
Yeah.
But my thing is, like that one at 8617, that thing, that's ready to go down. And that's the scary part is I'd hate to see somebody, get hurt by it, or property damage is bad enough. That could be replaced.
Yeah.
I hate to see we got a lot of kids running up and down the street.
Absolutely.
Mike, can we not put some type of time frame on them? I'm only speaking for Springfield Township. I don't care about the rest of the county right now.
With utilities.
That we can eliminate some of these issues. I mean, because I'm looking at that one, it's all splintered. And I recall there was a tree that was all splintered and crazy in one of our neighborhoods in the city, and it split and hit a woman, and she died in the car. And I don't want to see something like that happening, especially now that we are aware of it.
Well, there's only so much we can do, because it's the utility company, and they're taking action under these conditions that there's an emergency replacement of the pole. We're not aware that these poles are being replaced. Warren acknowledges, Duke Energy acknowledges that this is an issue. They assure me that they're going to get it corrected. But actually preventing them, if they don't come in and file a permit, if they're just going down on Zenith and replacing the pole without contacting us, it's very difficult to prevent them from doing it. All we can do is try to do our due diligence after the fact and get Time Warner or Spectrum and Cincinnati Bell out there as quick as possible. The rule is according to Duke, the last utility on the pole is who's responsible for removing the pole. So sometimes it's a race. It seems like it's a very slow race, but it's a race to get
Couple
out
of snails.
Right, yes.
When I spoke to Duke, they explained to me the tags that are on the poles, if there's numbers, then there's alpha letters. If the last letter is a C, that means it's a common pole. Duke's responsible for the C poles, which are the common, but the expense of those poles is shared by all of them. But, because I talked to Duke again today, and they mentioned to me that they're responsible for removing those poles, but they're awaiting confirmation that
Transfer.
the other equipment has been taken off the pole. So that's what
They
I
sure are spending a lot of money putting up new equipment all over. You'd certainly think they could move the old equipment a little quicker.
And basically, it's somebody's not doing their job, is the way I look at it. We all have responsibilities in life, and to try and get things done in a timely manner. I think over a year is really pushing it.
I agree.
I agree.
And that's the part, there's a flaw in the system, somebody's not following through with this stuff, somebody needs to get kicked into whatever, so that's.
Mike, do you know, is Duke, when they do one of these emergency polls and they don't tell us about it, are they telling Bell and Spectrum and everybody else, or are they not telling anybody?
To this gentleman's point, the issue is that currently Duke doesn't have an employee assigned to overseeing this program, this project. Right now, those complaints are falling back upon our local government liaison, who has many different responsibilities outside of just overseeing this project. And Duke is in the process of hiring somebody to oversee this project. So in essence, to answer your question, Joe, no, they're not. It's supposedly notifications and emails are going out, but there's a lot of moving parts here.
And once again, in my opinion, that's not an excuse. You're talking about things that can happen here. If somebody's missing from their job, the job still gets done by everybody else kicking a little bit extra.
And I think from a local government perspective, obviously, we will reach out to them and push them as much as we can. Unfortunately, the public utility, when they do work in the public right-of-way, they don't have to answer to us. So the only thing we can do is put pressure on them from a public standpoint, a political standpoint, and at some point maybe the news media needs to get involved. But we don't have really anything. We don't have any jurisdiction over the public utility in the right-of-way. The only thing we can do is try and pressure them from our end to get it done.
We
And if they
can't
don't-
fine them or anything, but if a letter from the board or, even from our fire, police chiefs, or in our service department, everything that, that addresses the public safety
For sure.
issues, maybe that would, somebody will wake up and say, hey, we got to deal with this. This could be a big problem for us.
Absolutely.
And I agree with what Glenn said. I would do something before Colerain Township and the other guys find out about it.
Yeah, right.
I would like to see some correspondence go out and then a follow-up discussion at our next meeting regarding what steps have we taken and has anything changed or improved, and where do we go from here?
If we don't
I'm
hear
very
any-
concerned if we've already identified 3 or 4 people in this room who have the same problem. So if there are hundreds in the township, that means there's hundreds everywhere else as well. So there needs to be an increased awareness and put together some kind of strategic action plan, especially if one has stayed for a year, like what I heard you saying, John. A year, that's a long time.
One on Cavalier's been almost a year.
So if I would like us to send some correspondence out and perhaps to make it much more succinct, identifying where we have other poles listed, if we can, street in the township, and send that out, and then at our next meeting next month, hopefully we have some type of response, because I'm concerned when I see this. This is frightening.
If we get no reply.
Thank you. Good.
If we get no
issue.
reply, maybe we write a letter to the Enquirer and basically say Duke's got poles all over the frickin' county and they won't
We can let them
clean
know
them
if
up.
they don't respond, we have plans to do
Correct.
something else.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone else that would like to address the board? It appearing that there's not, do we have a motion to adjourn the meeting? Or does everybody want to stay here?
So moved.
I second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.